just regarding like IP in games, and not just in games, but like products by themselves, right? Like
Yeah.
just in general. And honestly, the reason I want to bring up this is the question that I want to bring up is how important is for companies or people developing games or a product, right? To have their own original IP, and how important is that, or is it not important at all, right? And is it, should they take more of a focus, like for example, like Fortnite, right, where they bring more like IP licenses and they bring it into into their ecosystem, right, by implementing them. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I saw a clip of Nasha the other day where he was like, yo, like the skin in Call of Duty would have been so much more successful if they wouldn't have gone the route of competing with Fortnite, right? Like where they were just like, yo, we gotta like keep up with Fortnite and like try to bring IP licenses into our game and shit like that, right? And I kind of had to agree with that, man, because I feel like, especially for a product like Call of Duty, they had their own original IP, and they kind of just fucking somewhere along the lines, they just kind of said fuck it to that thing and started bringing in random shit that didn't fit with the game, right? Like now, when we see like the skins that have to do with Family Guy, or like I don't know, the
Bro,
skins
there
for
was like an
fucking
anime character that walking
yeah, bro,
around.
like a Gundam. You get me? Like, bro, we don't need Gundams in Call of Duty. Like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck is going on? You get me? Like, they had Captain Price, they had like Mason, they had like Ghost. You get me? These were like legendary characters within the Call of Duty universe that kind of got forgotten. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, because it's not like it was needed. You get me? Or it's not like the player base actually asked for this thing. Do you guys think it's like a Gen Z thing where they're trying to cater more to like the Gen Z audience and like what their taste is?
100%. I mean, a lot of the things were, I think they had different animes in there, and they're just really trying to compete with Fortnite. Fortnite has like endless amount of brain rot in that game. And then I think they even did like, didn't they do like AI generated shit as well?
I mean, yeah, they've done AI for like their cover art and shit like that.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that the fans don't like or want. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they try to
I
make
just feel
Call
it's
of
like
Duty into like Fortnite. It's kind of weird.
I just feel it's like know your audience, right? Like I get it,
Yeah,
like you're trying to like cater to like the new younger audience nowadays and shit, but like you also have a really long history of like a fan base that has grown up with this product as well, right? It's like I don't know, bro. Like imagine going back to Halo and now they changed Master Chief into like a Nicki Minaj skin. You get me? It's like what the fuck is going on, dude? Like you don't do that, you know? Like so that's how I felt about Call of Duty. Like it kind of turned into that, right? And I don't think it was necessary to have to compete with Fortnite. But then again, Activision is like one of the biggest monopoly when it comes to the gaming industry. You get me? And maybe they needed to do that in order to get there, I guess.
but
But
but dude, like, why is the target demographic you're competing against Fortnite? It's a totally different game. Like maybe Warzone, it makes sense. You're competing with Fortnite, but like you're putting the rest of that stuff into the normal game, which is not competing with Fortnite at all. There's no people aren't playing team deathmatch. I mean, there's servers that exist, but like that's not the main draw. The main draw is the
right.
battle royale game. So like, why are you even trying to compete for that market? I don't get it.
So, what I would say is your question was: is it more beneficial to have your own IP or use other IPs?
Yeah, like is it more beneficial for let's use games as an like as a main focus here, right? Because I feel like it's where it's easier to explain. Should game devs focus on having like an original IP when it comes to their product, right, or their game, or should they focus more on like let me buy as many IP licenses as I can so I can compete with the giants like Marvel Rivals, Fortnite, and so on?
Um, Honestly, I think having your own IP is more valuable. Simply because you could either become the place where the memes originate, or you can become the meme collaborator, right? And and the reason that I say that is because we're heading into this era where, like Sora 2, everyone's like making memes of other IPs now. So it's like if everyone's making memes of like Peter Griffin, it starts to kind of dilute the value of having Peter Griffin in your game as a. And by that, what I mean is obviously you attract all the players that like a Peter Griffin or whatever. But essentially, like if everyone starts to go for the licensing, then what makes you different? What makes you unique, right? The reason that it worked for Fortnite is because they were like the only ones doing that. So it was really cool, right? And it's like, and it's not like Fortnite really started with its own really strong IP. Like, yeah, they had the original characters. I know that exists, but um, they really pivoted into the licensing side of things early enough that it became a part of their game identity. Where
Yeah.
something like Call of Duty, you have a, you know, like you said, the Captain Price and the storyline and everything, and it was already, in a weird way, it was already a derivative of military IP. So you didn't have to do all that shit, right?
Right.
In my opinion. So, but I'm looking at it from like full game perspective in general. No, I would invest more in your own IP because if you're an indie dev today, like you're gonna limited on how you can market, right? Like, you know, we know how these things work. You can technically open up your game and and like go on Facebook and run Facebook ads and do all that. But you have to compete with other major studios when it comes to paying for, the cost per click of a keyword and things like that. So you
Mhm.
end up in a situation where, let's say, the CPC of an ad campaign on Facebook comes out to like $2 a click. How the fuck are and let's say you keep running that and eventually you optimize your Facebook pixel to the point that maybe it comes in at a tenth of that. And I'm using random numbers, these aren't like accurate numbers. Every genre, every target group and demographic is different on how much it costs for user acquisition and awareness, but I'm just using like blanket numbers. So let's say you eventually optimize your Facebook pixel to the point that it comes out to 50 cents. Cool. You cut your costs by 80%. Um, However, what ends up happening, right? Like, you're still competing against another studio that's going to have infinitely more ad spend than you as an indie developer. And I'm mainly basing this for indie developers. Major studios are going to develop their IP, probably pay for licensing, and run the same ads, right? Um,
Right.
but indie developers, where you can stand out is your IP. Like, make memes, or create like a Sora campaign and be like, hey, $1,000, here's a to the top three people that make cool memes with, the leading character in our IP, or like the warrior class of our IP, or whatever it is, right? Like in WoW, the person that represents mages the most is, I would say, is Jaina Proudmoore and like Khadgar. Like if Blizzard were to tweet out tomorrow 10 grand to top three people that create memes around Khadgar and Jaina, they'd literally take over Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, right? Because those characters have serious fandom.
Dude,
Blizzard's
all you
Blizzard's just
need
boring, so they don't do it.